This is an extract from a little book called The Blessings of Christmas by Joseph Ratzinger, Pope Benedict XVI. This particular excerpt is addressed specially to sick people. Just like a great joy, so too illness and suffering can be a visit by the God who enters my life and wants to encounter me personally. Even when it's difficult for us, we should at least try to understand the days of our illness in this way. The Lord has interrupted my activity for a time in order to let me be still. In my daily living, I've little time for Him and little time for myself. I'm completely involved from morning to evening in all the things I have to do, and I even succeed in eluding my own grasp, because I do not know how to be alone with myself. My job possesses me, the society in which I live possesses me, entertainment of various kinds possesses me, but I do not possess myself. And this means that I gradually go to seed like an overgrown garden, first in my external activities, and then in my inner life too. I am propelled along by my activities, for I am merely a cog in their great machinery. But now God has drawn me out of all this. I'm obliged to be still. I'm obliged to wait. I'm obliged to reflect on myself. I'm obliged to bear being alone. I'm obliged to bear pain. And I'm obliged to accept the burden of my own self. All this is hard. But may it not be the case that God is waiting for me in this stillness? May it not be the case that He is doing here what Jesus says in the parable of the vine? Every branch that does bear fruit He prunes that it may bear more fruit. John 15:2. If I learn to accept myself in these days of stillness, if I accept the pain because the Lord is using it to purify me, does this not make me richer than if I'd earned a lot of money? Has not something happened to me that is more durable and fruitful than all those things that can be counted and calculated? A visit by the Lord. Perhaps illness can present itself in a new light when we see it as a visit from God. For when we rebel against it, this is not only because it's painful or because it's hard to be still and alone. We rebel against it because there are so many important things we ought to be doing, and because illness seems meaningless. But it is not in the least meaningless. In the structure of human life as a whole, it is profoundly meaningful. It can be a moment in our life that belongs to God, a time when we are open to Him and thus learn to rediscover our own selves. Perhaps we should try an experiment. Let us understand the individual events of the day as little signs God sends us. Let us not take note only of the annoying and unpleasant things. We should endeavour to see how often God lets us feel something of His love. To keep a kind of inner diary of good things would be a beautiful and healing task. The Lord is here. This Christian certainty is meant to help us look at the world with new eyes and to understand His visitation as a visit, as one way in which He can come to us and be close to us.